Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Duplex Built to Rent, man. Today we are going to be talking about driveways. We're going to be talking about cabinets and countertops. This is going to be an update to the 401 MLK property, and here we go. I'm a little bit behind on some of these pictures and updates, but let's get to it, man. This thing is awesome. If you want to learn how to do duplexes and learn how to do new construction ground up stuff, please reach out to me. I got a full community with lots of courses and education content, absolutely for free if you guys want to get involved and learn how the new construction process works. When I first started, nobody wanted to teach me, and I decided that when it was my turn, to learn it and master it, then I would be willing and able to teach others. So here we go. This is what we got going on here, man. This particular duplex that we have is the corner duplex that I've been talking to you guys about. And so the only big thing that I'd like to point out about it is the fact that we have an entrance on this side of the road, and then we have another entrance on this side of the road. So that is kind of cool because then basically the duplex is split this way instead of side by side. And that really helps, with the tenants and whatnot. So we have two driveways going to be on opposite ends, and that's the purpose of it. Now, if you notice here, I got a couple of issues, not issues, but just things that need to be addressed, right? So we have right here, we have the driveway that comes out straight like this, right? And so what the city is requiring, which is kind of standard practice, right? They're going to require that the driveway comes out this way, but then they have a 5-foot radius. So they want it to come out about this much. So an extra 5 feet on this side, and then 5 on the other one as well. So then why are we like this far out? So there is a walkway or a sidewalk here, and that made it a little bit different. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side. So these guys are already starting to cut off all of these pieces of concrete where the sidewalk used to be. And so they're basically, working on all that stuff here. There's our concrete guy. One of the other things I wanted to point out here is the electricity pole. So I forgot that was going to be part of it, but look, check this out here, man. This is kind of cool. So we have the electricity pole right there. The property itself is actually over here. And so what's happening is that we need to run the electricity wire from here out to the house itself. And the challenge is that we have these trees here that are in the way, and we have, you see these trees right here? Let me see why this thing's not coming on. There it goes. These trees that are right here, a little bit of this stuff here, and just all this mess that's right here needs to come out. So now let's check this out. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but this is, kind of the problem that we have. There it is. You can see it a little bit. So if you notice right here on the back side of it, we have where the meter loops are right now, and then you have the little stub out up. Okay, and so basically what Entergy is saying is like, hey, look, man, we cannot run the electricity, even though you've already got the permits and everything's already done, until you can get rid of some of the stuff here. So what the energy company is asking is that we need to have a direct line of sight. And what that means is very, very simple. From where these meter loops are here, they want this to have a direct line so they can run it this way and connect it that way. And then basically all this additional stuff that's all right here needs to come out. So they want about 5 feet on either side. So what that means is that basically from here this way, we have to get rid of trees, tree limbs, anything that's going to be impeding in the way of that electricity. So we have someone actually out there right now working on that stuff, getting rid of it, because without us doing that, the energy company or the electricity company is not going to connect us. Okay, they don't want those wires touching anything. So that was just me pointing out to the guy what needed to be done. All right, so now at this point we have the cabinets in. We have not done the painting. Now this is just a little bit of a thing that this is just from dealing with the guys that we've been working with. The guys that do our flooring, okay, the guys that do the luxury vinyl plank that we use on here, they have really, really good pricing. And one of the challenges is that whenever I don't want to stop using them because their pricing is so good, we're paying $3 a square foot. That's material and labor included. That's everything. That's a turnkey product, and it's really good. And he does a good job. The only thing that is kind of annoying with him, how do I put this lightly, is that he can be a little bit sloppy, right? So what happens is they use something called leveler. Leveler, what it does is just goes to the lower points on the foundation, on the slab itself, and tries to find all those low points and just kind of settles there. But what happens is that they're sitting on the ground, they're putting this stuff down, and whenever they do it, they can get a little bit messy with it, and they end up getting some splatter on here, on the cabinet, sometimes on the walls and the paint and stuff like that. And so the painters are like, ah, dude, these guys, they always keep doing this issue. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the flooring guys in first. Okay, whether we have the countertops or not, we'll put the flooring guys in first. We'll cover up the floor. It's LVP, which is a really thick plastic. I mean, that's really all it is. It's just a thick plastic. We're going to put those guys in, and then once that's done, we will go ahead and do the painting afterwards, because in that way we don't have to worry about it too much. So now check this out. We got these kitchens were a lot bigger than I wanted them to be for duplexes, but it was a corner one. It was a little bit different. We don't really do this particular model on a regular basis. I think we're going to make it a little bit more tight next time, and we're likely going to be using a different architect this next time, okay? But that's beside the point. So check this out. The sink is going to be right here in this little center island area, and then we have the dishwasher right next to it. That's pretty standard every single time. You want to make sure that you have your dishwasher really close to where the kitchen sink is going to be. Typically, it's going to be right next to it, so that way it has a place to drain. So we have the doors in, we have the cabinets. This is one of the bathrooms in the hallway. This is the bathroom in the master. This is the other side, actually. And as you can tell, these cabinets are not put up yet when I took these pictures, but they were already set in. The bottoms were already set in. These guys were just kind of setting those up for where they're going to go. And then this is a picture of those actually being done and finished. One of the things that we like to do for appraisal purposes, which is not a really big lift, is going to be the trim, the little, what is this stuff called, man? The crown molding on top of the cabinets. It makes it look a little bit nicer, and it's not that much more expensive for us, but it really helps us out on the appraisal. Everything is looking good. So you see that that little box right here, that is for the vent for the microwave. And so basically we just need to cover it up, so that way we don't have just a raw vent by itself sitting out there like an eyesore. Okay, so now that we have the cabinets in, we're reaching out to the countertop guy as well. And so this countertop guy is basically, telling us, hey man, what kind of material you guys want? I'm like, hey, look, we're looking for cost efficiency. As long as we can pay the same price every single time, like, what do you have? So this is one of the options. He's like, hey, same price. He's given us this material and labor for about $56.25, I think is what he said. $5,625 total. And that does not include the kitchen sinks. The kitchen sinks I like to do something a little bit different, but that's just for the sinks in the bathrooms and the countertops. So that's actually a pretty solid price. So now that we have this option, he gave us this light gray option. This is a really shiny one. It's kind of white quartz. This is a Carrera white, and the Calcutta Manhattan. So anyways, they're all pretty simple. I really don't like this color. I think the veins on this thing are just a little bit too bold. But you want to counter the countertops, right? You want to contrast the flooring. The cabinets are white, so you don't want to go with the white countertops either, because it's just there's no contrast to it. Even though the hardware on these might give it some contrast, there's not a whole lot of contrast whenever you're going with the white countertop and a white cabinet. So I wanted to stay away from this light gray. I wanted to stay away from this bland white quartz. This Carrera white doesn't have a whole lot. So we decided to go with this Calcutta Manhattan or Calicotta. I don't even know if they spelled it correctly, but whatever. The point is, we're going to go with this one right here, because it does have a little bit more pop of color, and the veins aren't too weird like this one's. I don't really like this vein thing. It looks like 5-year-old drew that or something. I don't know. Whatever. This looks more natural. So anyways, let's move on with the driveways, okay? Now remember, we have to pull permits for the driveway, and the driveway needs to be inspected before the city can come out. I'm sorry, before the concrete guys can come out and actually pour it. So these guys are putting in the forms for the concrete. They're doing all the work. And as you can see here, we kind of got this area closed off so nobody drives on it. And this is what it's going to look like. Now, one of the little challenges that we had here, this is the other side. So this is the one side where there's a sidewalk right on the edge, and this one has a sidewalk right in the middle here. So it's a little bit different. And we're using the sidewalk that's there right now to anchor. See that? This is the other one. So one of the different things that we had to do was that, this little area right here, there's a drop. I mean, there has to be a drop, right? If somebody's going on a bike or someone is going in a wheelchair, there has to be a drop here, and then there has to be a rise back up over here. And it has to be consistent, and it has to be a certain length and stuff like that. The concrete guys know. The city will have a design that they have for like all residential, all commercial dimensions and the type of stuff that they're looking for and the width of the rebar and all this other stuff. They have all that. So all we do is pull that off, print it, and just give it to the concrete guys that are going to be working there, and they can read that stuff and just get it done. And if they have any questions, I mean, you can always call the city. They're usually pretty cool because you're following the rules, saying, hey, I have a question about how this is going to be inspected and how we're going to do it. And so they usually are very quick and easy to answer your questions for you. And that's what this looks like now, man. It's looking good. So let me show you a video. All right, guys, so we're back here. We got the video. Now, I want to show you guys something that I want to point out. You guys don't need to necessarily know this, but the concrete guys know how to do this. See how this is a little bit deeper, and then it comes out, and then it goes out this way like this? That's part of the design, right? The city wants this part to be a really thicker slab portion of the concrete. Why? Because whenever you have emergency vehicles, they're going to pull up on that, and if it's not thick enough, it's going to crack easily. People are going to be driving by, pulling in, big heavy trucks, whatever the case is. Now, the rest of the stuff, we got the rebar, we got the little seats right there where they're going to be going, and everything is looking good. And here's where I was telling you guys that we had to have the drop. So you see how this is tied into the existing sidewalk, and it's going to be shifting down this way. Boom. So that way someone, whether it's a wheelchair or a bicycle or something like that, they are able to ride without having to hit a big bump. Boom. And that's it, guys. That's really all the updates that we got going on here at this 401 MLK property. We already have the concrete poured, as you saw in this other picture over here. Everything is looking good. Everything is dried up. The next phase is just letting this cure, and we should be good to go by tomorrow. This concrete got poured on Friday, Saturday. And so today's Labor Day, so tomorrow's Tuesday. We should be good to just start driving on it. We're going to order the final grade, which is going to be very basic, just making sure that this is kind of flat this way. I already called to get rid of this dumpster. This dumpster's got to go. We're needing to trim up these trees and putting in the sod. Now, people are going to say, why are you putting in the sod before you start painting? Because what happens is that you see right here and it's very evident, man, and I've done this enough times to know these are just little lessons that I've learned over time, man, that just waste of money. So here, you see how there's this orange stuff right here? I'm telling you right now, if you go to power wash this orange stuff right here, it will not come out. It stains the siding. So imagine if we already had it painted, we would have to repaint it with some kind of primer and then again with more paint, and the guys are going to want more money. So normally what I do now is, instead of doing that, we just wait until the sod is put in. You see there's some right here on this one too. The sod, and this happens all the way around the house, like everywhere. When it comes in, when it rains, it just splashes back onto the house. And so now what I've learned to do is I put the sod in first, and then I have the painters come out and do it. Because basically what happens, if the painters get paint on the grass will grow out and the paint will disappear. But the challenge is that, we paint this entire thing, then we have to repaint about 2 feet up off the ground again. And the painters are not happy with that because they don't feel like they need to do it. And if they do it, they want to get charged more, which is totally understandable, right? Because you're taking on more labor, more cost, more material, and all the other stuff as well. So we'll get the the final grading done. And once the final grading is complete, we will go ahead and start painting. But we got to get this dumpster out of there. All right, guys, that's all the updates I got for you guys here at this 401 MLK. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you got any questions. I'd love to help you guys out as much as I can. This stuff is actually pretty cool. We refinanced the duplex that was on here behind this one on this side over here. And the process was actually super easy, super smooth, no big deal. And, it's going to be a rental property. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much. Bye.